Hello everyone, my name is Terry Hollister. After lots of thinking of what I was going to do for my assignment, I googled great speeches, and the first thing that came up was one about Ronald Reagan. Growing up, I remember politics, kind of watching Ronald Reagan on TV was how I got into it. So I grabbed the first one there and I just looked at it, and that's what I chose with so many options. So I'm going to be mimicking the speech of Ronald Reagan. It's the 40th anniversary at Normandy Beach. President Reagan is standing in front of the memorial on June 6, 1984. And he's delivering his speech about D-Day. In France, I believe. So here we go. With that, I'm really not feeling too good, so if I cough or sneeze or choke up in the middle, I apologize in advance. And I try to dress for the occasion, but I guess I don't match that time period, so this is the best I could do. So here we go. We're here to mark that day in history when Allied armies joined in battle to reclaim this continent to liberty. For 4 long years, much of Europe had been under a terrible shadow. Free nations had fallen. Jews cried out in camps. Millions cried out for liberation. Europe was enslaved, and the world prayed for his rescue. Here in Normandy, the rescue began. Here the Allies stood and fought against tyranny in a giant undertaking, unparalleled in human history. We stand on a lonely, windswept point of the northern shore of France. The air is soft, but 40 years ago at this moment, the air was dense with smoke and the cries of men. And the air was filled with the crack of rifle fire and the roar of cannon. At dawn, on the morning of the 6th of June, 1944, 225 Rangers jumped off the British landing craft and ran to the bottom of these cliffs. Their mission was one of the most difficult and daring in the invasion: to climb these these desolate cliffs and take out the enemy guns. The Allies had been told that some of the mightiest of these guns were here, and they would be trained on the beaches to stop the Allies in advance. The Rangers looked up and saw the enemy soldiers, the edge of the cliff, shooting down at them with machine guns and throwing grenades. And the Rangers began to climb. They shot rope ladders over the face of these cliffs, began to pull themselves up. When one Ranger fell, another would take his place. When one rope was cut, a Ranger would grab another and begin his climb again. They climbed, shot back, and held their footing. Soon, one by one, the Rangers pulled themselves over the top, and in seizing the firm land at the top of these cliffs, they began to seize back the continent of Europe. 225 came here. After 2 days of fighting, only 90 could still bear arms. Behind me is a memorial that symbolizes the Ranger daggers that were thrust into the top of these cliffs. And before me are the men and women who put them there. These are the boys of Puente Hope. These are the men who took the cliffs These are the champions who helped free a continent. These are the heroes who helped end a war. Gentlemen, I look at you and think of the words of Stephen Spender's poem. You are men who in your, and I quote, lives fought for life and left the vivid air signed with your honor. Quote. I think I know what you may be thinking right now. Thinking, we were just part of a bigger effort. Everyone was brave that day. Well, everyone was. Do you remember the story of Bill Millen, excuse me, of the 51st Highlanders? 40 years ago today, British troops were pinned down near a bridge, waiting desperately for help. Suddenly, they heard the sound of bagpipes, and some thought they were dreaming. Well, they weren't. They looked up and saw Bill Millen with his bagpipes, leading the reinforcements and ignoring the same smack of bullets into the ground around him. Lord Lovat was with him. Lord Lovat of Scotland, who calmly announced when he got to the bridge, "Sorry, I'm a few minutes late," as if he'd been delayed by a traffic jam, when in truth, he'd just come from the bloody fighting on Sword Beach, which he and his men had just taken. Okay, guys, thanks. That's hopefully not too long. Again, I wish I wasn't feeling so rough. I may have had a better presentation for you, but that was the best I could do today. Good day, everybody, and thanks for watching.